Stop saying it.
Namaskar, Vinodji. Welcome.
Very, very good afternoon to all our listeners. Once again, we are here with another episode of Through Literary Lens.
Tennyson, Vinodji. We are discussing Tennyson. We are his poems.
So again, Tennyson, we have come up with the new poem, very famous poem, which is usually prescribed in undergraduate programs of various universities in English literature.
And our listeners, you are not bored with Tennyson because this is a very ghostly, very mysterious, very thrilling poem. No?
Yes, Tennyson, Victorian poet of the 19th century, England. He is one of the most representative poets of the time who brings out the conflict between science and religion.
Yeah.
He's a medical master. He has command over the language. His poems are characterized by a high level of lyricism.
Oh, that lyricism is unparalleled in the history of English literature, I would say. This poem itself, Vinodji, if you take it, the rhyme scheme,
Yes.
A, C, B.
Exactly.
And what I mean by is that first, second, third, and fourth lines are rhyming.
Exactly. And this poem
And sixth, seventh, and eighth lines are again rhyming, and fifth and ninth lines are rhyming with each other.
Exactly. So let us first try to understand the story of this poem. The name of the poem is
Lady of Shallot.
Lady of Shallot.
Now, a folktale, maybe we don't know, maybe hanging around in his days, but he has depicted the folktale. A child can read this poem and enjoy it for the mystery of it, for the thrill of it, as well as grown-ups can read this poem.
And we are going to bring out the postmodern interpretations of this poem. So this poem,
symbolism of
this poem, an intellectual appeal which is hidden in this poem, a new layers of meaning which are there in this poem. Perhaps many of the critics have taken it just as a story of Lady of Shallot, or sometimes this poem is admired for the high level of lyricism. But we need to go beyond this.
Yeah, I mean, what does the poet say in this poem? We have said that he is the representative poet of his era. So what about this poem? It cannot be just like that he is telling a ghostly story. No.
So there is Lady of Shallot. She remains shut up in the tower.
In the tower, yeah.
Right? And she weaves a web.
A web.
And continuously, day in and day out, night and day, she goes on weaving this web because it is said that she is cursed.
And what is that curse? She knows not herself.
But she knows that the moment she gives up this task of weaving,
something bad will happen.
This curse will work upon her.
And a large mirror is hanging in front of her. She can see the reflections of the outside world.
Yes, she sees the people going up and down. She sees the
village girls,
the
knights.
Right. She sees the wedding
lovers newly wedded.
Yeah, wedding processions,
all
funerals.
The life of funerals also. She sees, but she knows that she should not leave the web. For a moment also, she cannot leave the web.
Yeah, whatever she wants to see, she must look at the mirror, but she cannot look at the reality.
And one day when she sees the two newlywed lovers, she spontaneously says, "I am half sick of shadows."
Yes, and this is something that we must understand. Yeah. That love has greatest attraction for the person.
Yes.
So far, she was able to contain herself just by looking in the mirror. Yeah. But the lovers are there. Now this passion of love is aroused in her. And now she says that I'm half sick of shadows.
Half sick of shadows because she has no one for company.
Exactly.
She's all alone in the tower weaving the curious web.
And then Lancelot comes from the city of Camelot.
He comes riding on his horse with his shield, shining shield, and well-groomed knight. And she looks at him in the mirror.
Perhaps she loves him.
And she's all of a sudden she leaves the loom, she leaves the web, and she turns to look at the Camelot, and she comes out of her tower.
And as it was said that the moment she stops weaving, the moment she looks at the reality, curse will take its effect.
And it happened. The mirror cracked from side to side, and all the bad omens started to appear there. But she still rode in the boat, and in the boat she was lying. But gradually the curse was overwhelming her.
Her ghostly description is there that she is as if a seer in trance.
Stony eyes fixed in the glance. as if some seer
In
in
trance.
trance, seeing all his own mischance. These are very haunting lines. She knew that once she does this, the curse is bound to befall on her, and it is happening. And gradually, in singing in her song, she died. That song she sang loudly, she sang lowly. Hmm? And finally, her corpse is flowing by in the tide, and it appears at the first house. The row of the houses is there, and everybody comes out to have a look at her. Who is she? Nobody knew. She's a dead corpse, but who is she? And then they read a parchment on her dead body. Some slip is there, some parchment is there. It contains 3 lines, Vinodji,
Oh,
and they are
yes.
very profound lines.
Yes, yes.
They say, the web was woven curiously,
The
the
charm
charm
was
is broken
gone.
utterly.
Utterly.
Fear not, come near, it's I, the Lady of Shallot.
No, this is the story.
And
Perhaps
there is
one
one
can.
other version also. End two ways Tennyson crafted this poem at the end. One is this one, where the parchment is there, and people read the parchment. And in another end, the Lancelot, the knight, he also comes in the throng of the people, and he looks at her, and he is also all of a sudden affected, and he says she has a grace on her face. Her face is gracious, beautiful to look at.
Now, this is really an interesting story of Lady of Shalott. But there's no reason to believe that Tennyson must have written this poem just to narrate this interesting tale of Lady of Shalott.
Or even if he did, we have to find out what is it, what does it signify.
And again, literature is capable of being interpreted in number of ways. So today, when we live in postmodern era, when we look at literature, we say we are living in the postmodern era. So let us try to dig out some hidden layers of meaning from the point of view of postmodernism.
Yeah. Lady of Shalott, I think, represents a modern person.
Modern industrialized woman or man for that matter.
Anybody, human being, any
And
human
as
being.
she is continuously busy waving this wave. Now, what is this wave? It has a lot of
Connotations,
meanings.
yeah.
One, we are all tied up with the monotonous, repetitive routine of earning bread and butter,
But
because we all are caught up in this wave of earning money to support our life. And the moment,
and we have a feeling that if we can't give it up.
yeah, the moment we stop doing this monotonous work, perhaps we will have to die, because there is, for 99% people in this world, there is no second source of income except from what we do as a job or a small business. So this is a weaving of wave, as simple as that. And then, because
We
we
don't
are,
experience the life directly,
exactly,
because we are all absorbed
we are all
in
absorbed.
work.
We only come to know of various happenings on the big or small screen. That is a mirror. Here the symbolism of mirror is to be
Yeah.
taken, not the literal mirror,
Yeah.
but the mirror. It may be a television screen, or it may be a mobile screen. Entire life becomes alive on the screen, because you do not go and experience many things, be it a cricket match, be it a election, be it visit to some good spot. So all you see on the screen. And we are cursed people. The moment you stop viewing this web and try to visit the life in reality, perhaps we have to die, because we do not have that much resource with us so that we can stop viewing the web.
The
This is
moment
one thing.
you take the life seriously and try to plunge in it, you are undone.
Exactly. And wave, incidentally, refers to wave.
Yeah.
That is,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, web.
web.
www.
Yeah, we are
World
all
Wide
caught
Web.
up in this weaving
Yeah,
wave.
yeah.
Where, be it Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, anything. We are connected to wave. We are weaving a wave in one way or the other. The moment you stop, you are going to die. So this is really a postmodern hidden meaning that poem is, capable of giving us.
Traditionally, critics have interpreted it as the conflict between the art and life. Artistic web, the artists do weave, but once they encounter the reality as it is in the life, they are undone, they are not a match up to it, and they fall very much short of it.
That is also right, because
Yeah,
the conflict between art and life is a very recurrent theme in poetry. Even John Keats,
yeah.
his odes, they depict this theme, the conflict between life and art. So when Lady of Shalott is busy weaving this way, perhaps it is she symbolizes
Yeah.
as an artist, right, who's busy in his creative web, right? And the moment the artist gives up
Yeah.
weaving this web and confronts life, perhaps the artist would be undone by the harsh reality of the world.
Yeah, and this is there have been very few engaged artists, what they call. They have been truly engaged in the struggles of life or with some moments. Very few have been there, and I can recall Jean Paul Sartre, Ji,
Yeah, yeah,
who
yeah.
said, literature is a
Bourdieu,
bourgeois substitute for
yeah,
the reality,
bourgeois
bourgeois substitute
substitute.
for the reality, and he refused to accept the Nobel Prize in literature because he said it's better to do action or two rather than the write just write. Even though he wrote very good things, but
Exactly.
still he did that.
Right.
So
Now, another
yeah,
interpretation is, uh, you know, uh, changing
an idea,
idea into reality.
any idea for that matter. We weave the web of ideas in our mind. This should be done, that should be done. We have n number of suggestions for the government, for judiciary, for every aspect of the life. But when it comes to actual action, we know we know inwardly that we are utterly incapable of bringing about any concrete action. So when one tries to do it, when tries to implement the idea, suddenly the curse befalls upon us, and action becomes impossible. And in the initial stages, before reaching the first house, as Lady of Shalott perished,
Yes,
we also do.
perish. So, Tennyson has brought this difficult problem
Yeah.
to us, that it is okay to weave a web and seeing the reflection of real life
Yeah.
in the mirror. But the moment you stop weaving web and confront life and try to do something in real life, it is so challenging that one has to lose life before one could achieve anything. So that tells us the difficulty or the impediments which are there in doing some worth action in this world.
And it also contrasts isolation versus love. Lady is isolated. She is weaving a web. When she sees the knight, she wants his company. Perhaps she loves him. And when she turns to go to him, she's undone.
Exactly. And another theme, perhaps, of that medieval romances,
Yeah.
where person risks his or her life for the sake of love.
Yeah.
So it is perhaps the concealed love in her heart for Lancelot that compels her to give up her exercise of weaving way and confront life, fully knowing that she is a cursed lady and the curse will work upon her, and perhaps she would lose her life, but she does not care for that, and she goes out facing all the perils, facing all the dangers that lay on the path.
And what do these lines, Vinodji, signify? She says, the parchment says, the web was woven curiously, the charm is broken utterly. Fear not, come near its eye, the Lady of Shalott.
I believe that these are most significant lines in this poem,
Yeah.
and they contain universal message.
Fear not,
Fear not.
come
The
near,
web was woven curiously.
curiously.
So this refers to the web of life. This life is built curiously. When the person is born and grows up, acquires education, acquires job, gets married, has children, and performs different roles. All this life is very curiously. Each one of us builds this life curiously because it is a toiling job. It's a very hard work to build life, to settle down in life. But ultimately, what happened? All of a sudden,
Yeah.
the string of the life is cut utterly,
Or it may
completely.
happen with some projects. It may
Projects
happen
also.
with some activities
Yes.
amidst the life when you are living also. But the charm is broken utterly. A relationship fails. A project fails.
All of a
Many
sudden,
things
you are
can
stricken
happen.
with some incurable disease.
Yeah,
Because, as one has said, that the accidents, diseases, and betrayals come unexpectedly.
unexpectedly. And then she says, "Fear not. Come near its eye." The charm is broken for me, but for everybody, it's the same.
So
You are not
again,
different.
but you are not different. So you don't be afraid when
Yeah,
you look at my tragedy.
yeah.
You must come near life. You must live your own life, even if in the end the charm is utterly broken. But at least weave it curiously. So again, the last line has a very positive appeal, and Tennyson is not an escapist.
Yeah.
He does not want to run away from life. But finally, he makes an appeal to the people, come near me,
Yeah.
come near life, face these challenges,
Yes.
face these dangers. So this the last line at least has a motivational value, right? For those who are afraid of life, for those who want to run away from the troubles and impediments which are there in the path of life.
And it seems a romantic poem, even though after the romantic era it is written. But one would have believed if some romantic poet had written it also. It's
Exactly.
entirely romantic poem.
Because she is ready to
Yeah.
risk her life not for any other gain, just to see at Lancelot, perhaps to have his love or affection. So that is motivating factor.
Yeah. The
So
language is a common folk language, no difficult words,
yeah,
nothing.
nothing. But like
Yes.
the poem is
Yeah.
characterized by musicality, by
Musical.
lyricism. It can
Yes.
be sung to the accompaniment of musical instruments quite easily.
So definitely, friends, you would do well to read and enjoy this poem for yourself.
So, thank you very much. We'll be back with some other discussion. Till that time, keep on writing your comments
Yeah.
in the chat box so that we will come to know that how you like these discussions on literature.
Yes.
Take care.
Okay.